Okay, today we'll discuss about how to work with multiselects. Okay, as you remember from my previous video, we have created a dashboard with three drop downs here and couple of panels, right? So one of the drop down we will convert it to multiselect and see how we can pass the token for multiselects, and also we'll discuss about an issue multiselect have. Suppose like you are selecting something from here, this all the static value which you configured for a multi-select will not go off. Okay, so that we need to fix it through JavaScript. That also I will discuss, like how to integrate JavaScript with your dashboard and fix this multi-select behavior with Splunk JavaScript stack. Okay, so let us first convert this release here drop down to a multi-select. So to do that, what I'll do first, I'll go to edit. Okay, I'll go to source. In the type drop down, this is my release year input definition, right? The XML part. So I'll say it multi-select. Okay. Now, when this type is multi-select, if you go to UI, okay, if you see it's this changed to something different, a box selection compared to the one in we have for drop down. Okay, now if I click on edit here, okay, if you see there are a couple of options open for multi-select: token prefix, token suffix, token value prefix, token value suffix, and delimiter. Okay, these are important for multi-select. If I see show you the drop down part, drop down has only this token prefix and token suffix. Okay, so why this is required? Because when you run the code, right, suppose how you are filtering the data. So you have this type of query is running, right? So let me run the query. Right, now to filter the data, what you are saying is saying my search, my release year underscore year equals to something for drop down, right? Now when it comes to multi-select, right, you have two options: either you have release year equals to something, or same release year equals to something else. Let's say if I want to just filter based on 2009 and 2016, so my code, final code would be something like that. That means the token I will be generating from the multi-select should be something like this, or I can say release underscore year in a list of values. That is also the same query in a different way, 2016, right? So I'll show you now both of these tokens. So my, in this case, my token value will be something like this. Okay, and the search I will be handling it be little bit different. So what I'll do, I'll keep this search, I'll duplicate it, and I'll say copy. So we'll see both of this one where my token will be something different. So I'll just control C here. Okay, so this two way my search will be running. So let's do that first. So if I'm going to now UI, okay, and I'm going to the edit multi-select option. Now if you see here, there is a preview as well. So these are the values you are choosing, because it is a multi-select, right? You can select more than one values from there. So we will construct this one first: release year equals to 2009 and release year equals to something else. So in this case, my token value prefix will be release underscore year, right? So if you see each and every before that, each and every value, it is appending this release year equals to something. Okay, so each and every value it will be adding this release year, then single quote, and suffix will be single quote end. So my ultimate token will be something this. Now if you see, I need to construct this or in between. In this case, this delimiter will come into picture. So I'll say space or space. Now if you see, my token value is becoming release year equals to value 1 or release year equals to value 2. Okay, so now let's apply it. Now if you see the source, so the corresponding tags are value prefix, value suffix, and delimiter. Okay, so my token is becoming something like this now. Now if you see here in my dashboard level searches where I am filtering this one, in when this release UR was a drop down, I was just passing the value here. But now in this case, I'm already constructing this release year equals to this, right? In this case, I do not need this release year equals to, because I'm already constructing there inside the token itself. But for other, if you see, I'll be keeping this because those are the drop downs. So from there, just remove this release year from everywhere. So I'm releasing from here and here. Okay. So now let's see how it works. Okay, so I'll refresh the dashboard again. Okay, now this is my default count with all. Now as I said, I can select multiple things from here, right? 2009. And as I also said, if I select something, ideally this all should go away by default, because it does not make any sense when you selecting something specific and you are also passing all here. So ultimately if I submit now, it will still give me 260 count because I have all over here. So we will fix this through a JavaScript. And 2017, let's say, I'll remove this all manually now. Now if I submit it, if you see, it is only filtering by 2009 and 2017 correspondingly for all the dashboards. Okay, now let us construct this one. Okay, and then the second one. So to do that, we will do it quickly. We'll go to source, not to source, UI, and from here. Okay, so now I want to just construct this portion of the token in and this. So my token value will be, so there will be no token value prefix. I will remove this one. My delimiters will be comma, right? That means value 1, value 2, value 3, right? Now I need a bracket here at the beginning of value 1 and the bracket here at the end of the value 2. In this case, token prefix and token suffix will come into picture, because so one time if you see in the preview, it's adding over here, and token suffix adding at the last. Okay, apply. So now if I go to source, the corresponding tags are becoming prefix and suffix for this one, and other parts remaining same for initial value and other stuff. Okay, now in this case my token is getting in this form. In this case I need this release here in. Okay, because I have not constructed this in as well. Even I could have constructed this in as well, like this here from the UI. If I go to here in the token prefix, I could have given in, right? If you see here, I can do that as well. So now this I already constructed, so I'll just say release here everywhere. So release here, okay, and then release here, because in is already inbuilt there. I already done that, but I would prefer to be that in be outside, because the person who will be seeing the code later, right, he will not be getting confused. Release here. Okay, so now if I save it and I'm just refreshing the dashboard again. Okay, if you see now again 2009, let's say 2016, I'll choose now. I'll remove this all manually now, submit. The same way it works, 2009 and 2016. So it's up to you how you want to construct the token and use that token in search. Okay, now let us fix this all issues. Okay, even there is another issue where Let's say I have selected something specific, then I am selecting all over here. Ideally this 2009 should go up because now I am moving from specific to very generic, right? All. So we will fix that issue as well. So now Splunk JS stack is coming into picture. This is called Splunk Simple XML extension, where in your dashboard you are basically adding a JavaScript to modify the behavior of different either panels or your drop downs or multiselects in your dashboard. Okay, so to do that, first I'll show you where to keep your JavaScript. Okay, so in your app, I'm in now program file Splunk etc apps tmdb app folder. You need to create a new folder called app server. Okay, inside that app server you need to create another folder called static. Okay, inside the static all your JavaScript files will be there. Okay, now we will be using require.js. Now Splunk JS stack have this three one. If you see this one, the Splunk documentation. Now I like this idea where even though you are not very much proficient in JavaScript or Python or any other language, what I generally used to do is first I understand the basic concepts like the how to create a bare bone of it, or basically the syntaxes. Then I used to follow the documentation and their different API documentation so that I can use it. Okay, so I'll try to explain this JS stack in similar way. Okay, now Splunk JavaScript framework have have been implemented with three things: barebone JS or backbone JS, then require JS. Okay, now you can integrate any of the JS file you have with this with the require one. Okay, now I'll show you a required structure. Okay, so to create a JS file which you can integrate with Splunk, you can do something like this: require. Okay, now require, inside this you will be basically defining everything. Okay, now require has two things. One, first argument is an array which will basically uh, give you the option to include all your JavaScript, different JavaScripts you want to use. Suppose you want to use a underscore JS or something, jQuery, anything. You can keep it as a array of those files. Okay, now second thing is your actual function implementation, where you will have function. Okay, and then the implementation of the function like this. Okay, now this function, this is an array. Now this function should be taking some variables which are related to this one. Okay, now let me show you what I am talking about. Now whatever JavaScript libraries you are importing to Splunk, one thing you have to import, and that is mandatory, and that is I think some simple XML ready, this one. Okay, so this has to be present everywhere, and it's better you import it at the last because this does not return anything, any object. So you can export it as you can import it as the last. Now I will be importing jQuery. Okay, and then I will be importing a JavaScript library called underscore. I will discuss more about underscore. And there is a Splunk JavaScript one called MVC, this one. So to interact with your multi-select or anything, elements you are defining in your dashboard, you need this MVC JavaScript library. Okay, now as I said, this does not return anything. and I have to use these things in my function code, right? So there has to be a corresponding variable in the function input, okay, and that has to be in same order. That means if I am importing jQuery first, I'll be assigning a variable or giving input to this function as for the jQuery only. So I'll just give dollar. You can give any name. For underscore, I'll just give underscore. For MVC, I'll just give MVC. Okay, so I'm giving in same order. Now it will be my function implementation. That's all. Now I'll just say language JavaScript. Okay. I'll just define a variable first, and then because we need a Splunk restart, so in between we'll develop the script as well. Okay. Now before I do that, now inside the JavaScript, what I'll do is I will access that multi-select, access its values. Okay. Now let me first give you the strategy I will be following it up. So now if you see this multi-select, whatever value you are choosing is right. At the behind the scene, what is happening is if you access this multi-select from any other programs like JavaScript, it will give you a comma separated values of this multi-select, and then what you will do, you will dynamically modify this variable value, this multi-select value, and you'll be applying a logic something like this. If I have already all chosen and then I'm choosing something else, then I will remove this all. Or if I have chosen something else and I have chosen all, then I will remove this particular portion, okay, with the specific value. So same logic will be applying there. So to do that, what I need to do, I need to give an ID of this multi-select so that I can call it from the JavaScript. So I'll give ID equals to, let's say, multi1. Okay. So this ID, basically why I am giving it, because I need to access this from the JavaScript. Now I'll say give multi1. This is my variable. I'll give the same name as ID, and this is how we access multi-select. This is the MVC one I'll be using now. That's why I'm using this MVC. MVC dot components dot get. Okay, and here you have to give the ID of that multi-select. In my case, it is multi1. Okay, and let's say whether I'm able to do it or not. Now I'll save this JavaScript. Let's say desktop and then multi-select, and this JavaScript I will be pushing here in the static folder of my app. Okay, now I'll just close this one and I'll just open this one inside the app where we can modify it. And as you are adding this app server static folder, right, you need to restart Splunk. So in between I'll just restart my restart Splunk. Okay, in between, so we will develop this multi-select now. So we have accessed already the multi select. So now I will handle the change event of that multi-select. So to do that, what I will do, I'll select this one, and there is a method called on. Okay, and this on method has two things. It will ask you for the which event you want to handle. In this case, it will be my change event. Okay, and what you want to do when a change event occurs, right? So in this case, I want to run a function. So this is how requires come into picture. You can define function here. Okay, and this function will be doing the necessary stuff. So this function, what it will do is, I will first access the current val of that multiselect var. This is how you define a JavaScript variable as well. Current var equals to multi1. So it has a val method. Okay. Yes. My Splunk has been restarted. Okay, fine. I'm going to TMDB app. Okay, so this is my val. Now, first for initial understanding, we'll see what is my current val. So this is how you print anything something in JavaScript, console.log, and I will just print this one. Okay, my current val. Now let us see first, then we will add our logic. So I have defined a JavaScript, right? I have copied the JavaScript here in my app server static folder. So this is how I integrate my JavaScript with my dashboard. So in the form tag, there is a option called script. Okay, and there you give the script name. So in my case, my script name is multiselect.js. multiselect.js. Okay, so this is how I am integrating my JavaScript. So now let us refresh the dashboard. Okay, now if you see in my JavaScript, everything, this console.log is in my change event. So what I'll do, I select something from here and I'll press F12. Okay, now if you it should print something here. Okay. It is not printing anything. Let me refresh the dashboard. Okay, it is okay. Let me see the code. It could be syntax error. Let me see. Okay, so now I change the JavaScript there, right? Every time you change the JavaScript, you do not need to restart the Splunk. There is another way to do it. It's called bumping. Okay, so after E and U is the language setting. So what do? You copy till the language. Okay, and then give underscore bump. Okay, and if you just enter over here, it will give you a bump version options. Just bump the version. Okay, and then we'll refresh the dashboard. Okay, so if I select 2009 now, yeah, it is giving me these two values. So it's giving me an array with the list of values we have for multi-select. Okay, so let's move on. So we know our multi-select value, right? Now from here I will just keep the first value, that means this star, because I need to manipulate with this one, either to remove it or need to add it. So this value is important. So I'll name the variable name as first choice value, let's say choice value. Okay, and what will be the one? It will be the multi one. It has a method called options. Okay, and it has another options and choices. Choices means this array, and choices 0 means the first element of the array. Okay, and then value. Okay, so now this will be the value of my star. Basically I am taking it as a first choice value. Okay, now I'll be applying that logic where if, right, if this array length is more than 1 and its first choice is star, okay, then I'll remove the star because I need to keep this 2009 only there. So I'll say current val current val dot length is greater than 1, and this is the AND operator in JavaScript. Okay, and current val Okay, and now I'm checking the index. So index of, okay, index of this first choice val, right, this one, this star, is 0 or not. If it is double equals to 0, okay, so then what I will do is I'll remove that star, right? So this is how I'll remove that star. I'll first write the code multi one. This is my multi select, and this is how you set the val. If you see, to get the val, you are just calling this val without any parameter. To set the val, you are giving a array to that val method. Okay, I'll give underscore dot without. I'll explain this one now. Okay, underscore dot without, and without my current val and first choice val. Okay, now let's see first. Okay, what is happening over here. Now underscore means this is the guy, right? We imported this one. If you go to its documentation, underscore is a very interesting JavaScript library where it basically deals with the functional programming. It's basically inspired with the functional programming. Okay, if you want to know more about functional programming, just look it in the Wikipedia. Um, now underscore, basically what it is doing, instead of giving you a very granular level of programming tools or different programming controls, it gives you the different libraries as a functional way. That means, suppose if I want to remove an element from an array, it gives me an function for that. Similarly, adding an element, like that. Okay, now if you see its array related functions, there is a function called without, I think. Without, okay, what it is doing, it returns a copy of an array with an instance of the values removed. So what I am doing currently here, I am remove from this current val array, that is my current multi-select value, I am removing this first choice value. Okay, now let us see the behavior. So as it is, I will bump the website, I'll refresh the dashboards, I'll keep my this console window open. Okay, so now if I select 2009, if you see, even though my multi-select value is star and 2009, it is removing the star dynamically and assigning that value to multi-select val. That's why through this method multi-select val, that's why 2009 is coming over here. Okay, if you submit, only 2009 will get passed. How I know? If you see the URL of any dashboard, after the dashboard name, it's are the different tokens, and if you see for release year, it is only passing 2009 now. Okay, now let's see. Now if I select all, now it should remove the 2009 because I am moving from specific to the very generic one. So we'll handle that scenario. Very similar logic. We'll say if, again, my current uh, val length will be greater than 1, right? And this index of now, this index will be greater than 0 now, right? So copy this greater than 0, right? So in this case, what I'll do, I will I will just set the multi-select value only with this first choice value, that is, which is star, right? So let us see, bump, refresh. Okay, now let us remove this one. I'll just start from the beginning. Okay, now if I see, select 2009, 2016. Okay, it is passing me, it is removing all and only giving me these two. Now if I select all, if you see, it is removing 2009 and 2016 as well, because in this case I just want to go by all, right? So this is how we can fix that value. And if you see, if I cross this all as well, all is still saying, because if I show you the code of my dashboard, my default value is star. So it is already handled. That means if nothing is there in that multi-select, by default it will be all only, right? So this is how you can modify this behavior of this multi-select through JavaScript, and also integrate JavaScript in different purpose. You can handle very granular level, like any panel level data or any table level data as well. I'll be showing different use cases in future, but as of now we will just concentrating on the multi-select part only. Okay, so see you in next video.